What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Dizek of the Dead back with another video. So, breaking news just dropped. We are going to react to a WrestleMania video. Now, I usually don't react to these kind of videos, but I thought I'd try it out for once and react to a WrestleMania video for once. WrestleMania, if you don't know, has a lot of wrestling news. And so he's got a lot of good videos. I might not agree with, some of the little jabs he says here and there, but generally speaking, he's reliable for wrestling news. Him and Wrestle Talk and What Culture and all that. WrestleMania is among the reliable ones for wrestling news. But this just broke. R-Truth has been released from WWE, which I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say, but we're going to get into it. We're going to react to this video and we're going to react to the news. So let's get right into it. I don't know what I'm in for here.
Our first story looks at breaking news as R-Truth has been released by WWE. Unfortunately, in incredibly shocking news, R-Truth took to X today to formally announce that he's been released from WWE. He posted on X saying, "I'm sorry to inform you all, I just got released from WWE. I want to thank WWE for the ride, but mostly I want to thank each and every one of you who was along for the ride. Thank you for all the love, support and appreciation you have given me over the years."
I hate ads. This is unprecedented. I don't know if unprecedented is the right word, but I am incredibly shocked that, and I'm not even like being hyperbolic here. I think most people are shocked that R-Truth would get released by WWE. That is insane. With the amount of work he's put in, he would seem like a WWE mainstay. This kind of reminds me of like when Dolph Ziggler got released. You'd think that he would be a mainstay in WWE, but nah. And you're probably going to see here very soon. There's already some videos out there that I've seen, of people just throwing in the race card. Triple H is racist. It's about racism. All right, then why didn't he fire the Street Profits? They ain't worth a shit. So, people would just go straight to the racisms without actually thinking, because that's how far the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community, has fallen. And how far this sport and its normie fan base has really fallen. But let's get back into it, because I'm still reeling about this R-Truth news. I'll put it on mute.
April Fool's Day, but in the minutes that followed, Fightful Select confirmed that Truth.
Yeah, he mentioned April Fool's Day, so that's that sounds about right. That people would be like, yeah, you missed April Fool's Day. It's hard to know what's accurate with Truth, because he's definitely a troll. He's got a sense of humor. So
Truth has indeed been released from the company and will leave when his deal expires. This comes as a huge shock. Quite frankly, I'll never understand WWE's logic. They have wrestlers on TV who are featured in big matches and then just almost suddenly release them. R-Truth definitely isn't the first one who's been featured on TV and then just released out of nowhere. Another one that comes to mind was Braun Strowman. Now, R-Truth is the one saying thank you to us, but we're the ones who truly should be saying thank you to him.
I agree with that. I agree. R-Truth has put in a lot of time, a lot of effort to get himself over. R-Truth is, I think, one of the funniest wrestlers, and I don't mean funny in like a bad way, like in an actual, like a hilarious kind of way, in a comedic way. R-Truth has put in the work to get over with the audience, and he deserves respect. He does. He deserves his flowers. And it'd be funny, though, if now that he's released, if he shows up to like TNA or AEW or something, and he plays it off like he's back in WWE, but it's him being a troll. But still, I mean, you also have to bear in mind that R-Truth is getting up there in age, so I wonder if he's thinking about retiring, maybe. But I don't know. He's been around for a long time, 20 years tops.
We can't think of another superstar who's been funnier than R-Truth. He's been so funny that he's literally broken wrestlers right on television, including that time when he managed to make even Brock Lesnar break. What an amazing guy, and he will genuinely be sorely missed from WWE. It's kinda crazy to think that this wasn't just John Cena's farewell tour. This was actually R-Truth's as well. I guess that merchandise that R-Truth made as a joke towards Cena on the Saturday night's main event matchup turned out to be real. As Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful also mentioned, a lot of shock and disbelief within the WWE roster over R-Truth not being brought back. WWE stars including
I can imagine.
Ripley only had positive things to say about R-Truth's farewell. She mentioned, in all seriousness, this is literally so heartbreaking. Thank you, Truth.
Thank you, Truth.
Next up, Ric Flair facing major backlash.
When is he not?
Now, our top story today takes a look at the latest drama surrounding Ric Flair, an incredibly offensive tweet that the Nature Boy posted on X last night. As we all know, the legendary Jim Ross was recently diagnosed with colon cancer. Fans and wrestlers have been sharing their well wishes towards JR. However, Flair decided to post the most insensitive post imaginable on X, saying, "Jim Ross will always be Jim Ross, seeking attention. Focus on your recovery, Jim Ross." Flair ended up deleting his post and issuing up a follow-up message. The backlash was instant and severe, and rightly so. To accuse a man of attention seeking for having cancer is truly insane. Fans theorized that either Flair was hacked or he was just extremely drunk when he posted this.
You also have to bear in mind that Ric Flair is old school, so like he probably still got roids in his system. Yeah, obviously the dude's still on drugs. He took a blue chew once, and he was like, "I think I got one more match in me." Dog, the last match you had 3 years ago nearly killed you. You over here, chugging up them blue chews, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, give me another match." Bro, you're going to break yourself in the ring.
Now, it later surfaced that it was neither, and Flair would claim that he was, well, joking. If you can't take a joke from a 76-year-old man, then you're living life too seriously. It was all harmless, light-hearted fun, just trying to make people laugh and smile.
Same here.
The original tweet directed at JR has since been deleted. Not sure what the joke really was, but it could be towards a recent article of Jim Ross calling out Ric Flair for taking credit for his marriage. Flair would also delete a tweet featuring a bizarre consent contract that equally confused fans. It seems that Flair is the one clearly trying to get attention, but to gain that attention in such a wild and tasteless manner is simply not appropriate. Next.
Welcome to the life of professional wrestlers. Now that, even after they retire, they never really retire. They get on social media, just like Hollywood actors, and they beg for attention. They are addicted to the spotlight. This is nothing new. Hulk Hogan does it. Every WWE legend does it. It might not be to the extent of disrespect that Ric Flair has done, but let's be real here. These spotlight hogs, they love it. They love the attention. But in all seriousness, I hope JR the best. JR is a legend, and it's really sad to hear about what happened to him with the cancer thing. So that sucks to hear, but I hope he gets through it.
Next up, do Zelina Vega and Mercedes Moné have heat towards...
This is the kind of drama stuff, like it's guilty pleasure drama stuff in the world of wrestling news. It's sometimes fun and informative, but at the same time, it's like, who gives a fuck if Zelina Vega and Mercedes Moné have heat? Would they have a Twitter battle or something?
Each other. And for the past few years, there's been rumors that Zelina Vega and Mercedes Moné aren't on good terms. These rumors predominantly come from the prior comments made about Vega and Vega allegedly mocking Moné on WWE television. The current WWE Women's US Champion has finally addressed these rumors, and during a new interview with Ring the Bella, Vega explained that there were never any issues between the two. So when it comes to me and Mercedes, we never had any beef. That's what's so funny. Back in the day, I had done an interview which I remember talking to Naomi about this a long time ago. I was like, it'd be really cool to get, cause I'd known her prior for a while. So it was like to get it like a thing with her. Like hopefully we can get into something in WWE. Like my brain was, I needed to get to WWE any way possible. She's one of the top girls. I want to get in the ring with her. She's dope. I want to do this. She was cool with it. Vega would add that Moné trains with her cousin, which according to her is a clear sign that she has no animosity towards her. But no, none of us have ever had any beef. It's so funny to me. I'm the common denominator between all of the beef apparently. I'm just like, well, she trains with my cousin. Like what? Like they're trying to find any little thing. Like if I genuinely hated somebody, do you think I'd be cool with that? Hopefully these latest comments deter the rumors that the two have any genuine heat against each other. Next up, are WWE running too many shows?
I can answer that question for you. Yes. Yes. We have, what, 2.5, 3 hours of Monday Night Raw on Netflix, which I've pretty much opted to not watch anymore. Not because of principle or because I don't like the product, but rather I don't have access to Netflix, so I stopped caring. 3 hours of SmackDown, which is too much SmackDown. Holy shit, Discord is just going off. Hold on. Hold on. I can't believe I have to do this during making a video, but I'm just going to do it. So there you go. I got tired of hearing Discord go off. I am so sorry you guys had to see that. And it's still giving me notifications. Fuck me. Then you have what? Saturday night's main event, NXT shows, NXT pay-per-views or PLEs or whatever. WWE PLEs, now AAA. Yeah, there's too many fucking shows.
Since WrestleMania 41, there's been extensive criticism directed towards WWE for having too many shows. Between traditional PLEs and Saturday night's main event, there is literally a show every 2 weeks. This means that nothing is getting a chance to breathe, and key events such as Money in the Bank are being forced to be built up on 2 episodes of Raw and SmackDown. But it's not just the fans who are calling WWE out, as Meltzer stated that everything in WWE is just starting to feel the same. Speaking on a recent Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer stated, "They're running so many big shows now that everything's starting to feel the same. Like Backlash in France looked amazing, the crowd was insane, the presentation was top tier, but when you actually watched it, it didn't feel like anything really happened that mattered long term."
You know, he's got a point. And, you know, I don't really give a shit about Dave Meltzer or his opinions. I don't know why anybody does. But he's got a point. There's been like a consistent like meh. Like people were really into the hype of WWE for the last 2-3 years because of Triple H, and now all of a sudden people are turning on Triple H because they see that the hype's dying down. But the truth is, it's like you either like it or you don't at this point. My standards for professional wrestling are incredibly low, and I guess I'll get into another video about that. But I don't hate it. I don't love it. I kind of got disinterested with it years ago. I just consume it to the point of where it's like, okay, I like this match. I like these wrestlers. I like these personalities. So it entertains me for a couple hours, and it inspires me in other ways. But I'm not going to sit here and critique it like it's a film, like it's some fine piece of art. It's professional wrestling. Like, people call it fake and phony for a reason. And again, I'm not trying to insult no wrestlers or insult the sport. I will make another video explaining my perspective on it. Holy fuck, these Discord things. But my standards are just, like, they're incredibly low for professional wrestling.
It looked cool, but it was inconsequential. And then you got Worlds Collide coming up, which is used to be treated as this sort of special crossover event. Now it just feels like filler between Backlash and Money in the Bank. It's hard to make every show feel like a must-watch when there's one every 2 or 3 weeks. I managed to sum up the feelings of fans by stating that the stakes of the event aren't landing because there's another event just around the corner. WWE is doing a great job making everything look big, but not everything feels big. That's the risk when you oversaturate the calendar with events. The stakes don't land because there's always another one right round the corner. Unfortunately, WWE aren't set to scale back their shows anytime soon. The summer months are extremely stacked, and over one weekend in July, they're set to broadcast multiple events with 2 of them taking place on one day. It's unknown why exactly WWE are insisting on doing so many events so close together. Interestingly, later in the year, the calendar is looking rather sparse. After July Saturday night's main event special, there is just one contracted special left. This final special is rumored to take place in Boston in December and will reportedly feature the final match, a WWE legend John Cena. Next up, who's really behind the WWE AEW?
So there is somebody behind the WWE AEW war. Or, in my conspiratorial mind, WWE and AEW are secretly working together, using producers behind the scenes to feed each other information so they can copy each other and pretend to have a war. I mean, us as wrestling fans get to benefit from having something like that, this competitive nature, but at the same time, I got to use my logical brain and say, nope, they're both petty assholes. They don't really care about each other or the fans that much. I'm not going to say that they don't completely not care, but at the same time, it's like, why is this becoming so spiteful? And before you jump into the comments and start thrashing me, oh, you're a WWE simp. Oh, you're an AEW shill. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about AEW and WWE being a partisan football game. All right, you can enjoy the shows. Like, I think some of it's trash here or there on one show or the other, but again, my standards are so low that I wouldn't dare place myself in the mental anguish of having to choose between two shows like AEW and WWE. That is retarded.
AEW war. In 2025, there's been a clear focus from WWE to counter-program AEW.
Stupid.
The WWE are purposely putting on shows to rival AEW, and according to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio, this is exclusively a Nick Khan call. This is all Nick Khan. These counter shows, these schedule overlaps, these hit pieces, that's Khan's department.
It's the battle of the Khans. Khan! Look at that. I would make some super racist comments right now, but I'm going to avoid doing that, so...
He sees AEW as competition and he wants to keep them boxed in, but they're going overboard now. WWE are doing extremely well as a business, and there's truly no need to counter-program AEW in the way they're doing currently. Where there being a lot of negative feedback to a lot of key WWE creative calls this year, it will make more sense for them to focus on making their product better rather than trying to counter-program everything AEW does.
Yeah, you think so? You think so?
They're spending so much money on something that's not even effective. I mean, do you really need to run the Great American Bash opposite All In? Or plan a dozen stories just to tweak perception? You've already won in terms of market share. It comes off as petty.
Yeah, it's incredibly petty. Why the hell are they running like a Saturday night's main event, a Great American Bash, something else, Evolution, whatever, all the same weekend as All In to overcompensate for All In? Like, ain't nobody consuming that much professional wrestling. I'm sorry. Like, if I was, really determined, I would just skip the weekend. I'd just be like, all right, it's pretty clear that this wasn't well thought out on either side, so no, not doing it. Just not going to watch any of it. I will watch anime first, or some Saturday morning cartoons.
People are starting to see the WWE as a big bully. They're not just beating AEW, they're trying to humiliate them. And that makes the underdog look more sympathetic.
Well, they're trying to monopolize the whole game. They just bought AAA. They practically cucked TNA. They're trying to buy AEW. That's what this is. They're trying to cuck and humiliate AEW so they can eventually buy it from Tony Khan. The problem is, Tony Khan, being the Nepo baby narcissist, he ain't going to give up that easily. But this just shows you how scummy the wrestling business is.
And honestly, I don't think it's helping. AEW's audience is loyal. If anything, WWE's making them look like the bad guy in the fight they've already won. WWE counter-programming AEW would be a fascinating question to throw out Triple H, potentially at a post-PLE press conference. However, it's likely that Triple H and any official name from WWE would deny that they're trying to sabotage AEW, and they would no doubt just simply state that they're exclusively focused on WWE. Next up, Gunther making a huge change. Could former world champion Gunther be teasing a character change? This weekend, Gunther decided to wipe out all of his posts on X from the past 3 years. The posts on his accounts now begin from 2022, and what does that really mean exactly? It could be a possible sign that Gunther is going to address on TV that he needs to go back to how he was in 2022.
So, Walter? He's going back to Walter? Or is he just chopping people? I don't get what kind of change you're going to make here. You're going to put a Bane mask on him and make him be a knockoff Vader? Or a knockoff Shockmaster?
That was when he was Intercontinental Champion and was virtually untouchable in the ring. Gunther is set to face Jey Uso for the world title on Raw following Money in the Bank, and it's been heavily rumored that this match is going to be used to set up a showdown between Gunther and WWE Hall of Famer Goldberg. Next up, a WWE star wins gold. A Judgment Day member Carlito is now a title holder outside of WWE. Last night, at World Wrestling Council Summer Madness event, Carlito took on Ray Gonzalez and successfully won the WWC Puerto Rico title. The former US and Intercontinental Champion is now the 4th member of the Judgment Day to currently hold gold as he joins Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, and Raquel.
I heard rumors that he got released as well, but I can't confirm that. So that's interesting that they're letting WWE wrestlers wrestle in smaller promotions like that outside of WWE. That is a benefit of the Triple H era, is we get to see more cool stuff like that. So
Rodriguez. The idea of a contracted WWE wrestler competing for another title in a different promotion is only possible due to TKO. In the old era of WWE, Vince would have never allowed something like this to occur, but
Nope.
thankfully, TKO have realized that allowing talent to explore opportunities like this is only going to boost talent morale. And finally, backstage confusion over a WWE PLE. Our final story today takes a look at the backstage reaction to the announcement of the return of the Evolution PLE. After months of speculation, WWE have finally announced that Evolution will be returning in July. However, the backstage reaction is one of surprise. Fightful Select is reporting that the majority of WWE's female talent only learned about the return of the event when the news went public.
Here's my take on Evolution. I don't really care about the rest of this video, but I'll finish it anyway. That was brought up during the intersectional feminist time, the rise of Me Too and Time's Up era. Not to say that women's wrestling is bad, because actually women's wrestling has gotten better over the years, and I quite enjoy it on occasions. Plus, the women are completely beautiful, so like that's a bonus right there. But I just feel like it feels like pandering. Feels like pandering, especially like I've noticed even more after Camel Toe Harris lost the election. We've seen more women's wrestling main events and opening shows, not because that those matches were like incredible to start the show or incredible to finish the show, but rather to compensate for the fact that they felt bad about Camel Toe losing. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. It makes too much sense.
A select group of top-tier stars and one legendary name were made aware ahead of time, with that same name potentially set to feature on the card in some capacity. Additionally, Fightful Select are reporting that the internal reaction has been mixed. The reaction internally was actually mixed. There were some on the roster who understand what the show means, but took exception with the curtain call element of the first show, noting that it wasn't something WWE would have had men on the roster do. Another said that if the show...
Well, yeah, because then it would be sexist, wouldn't it? Isn't the whole event itself inherently sexist? Or just intersectional at the very least? And plus, without Stephanie McMahon behind it, like, it kind of falls flat anyway. You're not going to please all the SJWs on Twitter. You're just not. And those are the normies that TKO's appealed to now. Hopefully they switch it up.
Underperforms against a Beyonce concert next door and the hotel prices likely increased, it'll be used as a catalyst to justify not doing it again. According to Fightful Select, one veteran in the locker room is excited for the show and is hopeful that many of the underutilized women get a chance to shine. One veteran expressed their excitement and said hopefully many of the women that don't get used often get an opportunity to shine. They also said that they're hoping that legends can be integrated with the newer talent to help build things. The talent specified WWE has to help build it for it to be a success. It's incredibly interesting that WWE kept the event under wraps for months. Talent including Charlotte Flair in a recent media interview seemed to have no idea if the event was returning, so even some of the main eventers were completely oblivious as to what was occurring. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave a comment down.
Man, it sucks to hear about R-Truth. It really does. But you're going to hear the race card thing. Oh, Mauricism. Triple H is Mauricist. Just a whole bunch of angry ranters. These kind of things happen. He got released from WWE. He will find work other places. He's R-Truth. And sure, it's disrespectful on a certain level, and I feel bad about it. I'm not super happy about them losing R-Truth, but for God's sakes, get a life. It's you know, you can be mad about it, you can be passionate about it. I certainly am, but God, it's like some people just don't know like when and where to throw their tantrums. So anyway, that was WrestleLamia. Go subscribe to him if you like his stuff. This has been Isaac of the Dead. I will talk to y'all in another video soon, hopefully with more wrestling content. So I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out.